What up, Taco Gang? It's your boy, Mr. Lalo Gaming here, and I'm going to give you a 100% transparent yet spoiler-free review of Assassin's Creed Mirage. I know there's been some talks about it. A lot of people are talking about it going back to some of the roots, some of the things that we enjoyed most about the base games in the earlier series. But if you're wondering if you should dive back into it, if you should spend the money on it after probably mixed feelings on the last entry, I'm here to give you 100% thoughts on 5 different topics that I'm going to cover about the game. First, I want to thank Ubisoft for partnering up with us, and thank you for the key, as the early access that we received for this really helped us dive into it more. With that said, let's start the video. Alright gang, so the first thing we're going to touch base on is the story. And if you've been following the Assassin's Creed stories from way back when, you realize this shit is kind of more convoluted than the Kingdom Hearts story. With that being said, I did like the main story of Basim. If you're aware of Valhalla, and in the beginning of this, you are playing as a young Basim. You're going through his journey to become a hidden one. I did like the story, how it played about, tying in with some of the more important characters inside of this story and realm. And overall, I think this is probably one of the better Assassin's Creed stories in recent times, since the departure of Desmond and how all of those were kind of really tight knit. I feel like any of the other Assassin's Creeds, they haven't really, I mean, outside of Odyssey and Origins, I think Valhalla's story wasn't that great, if I'm being honest. But Mirage, I like how they slowed it down a bit and they made it really about, it's kind of about Basim's origins. It's his origins, and it goes deep into what can really lead into the next portion of the franchise. Now, going into the convoluted story, I'm not going to touch much about that because that might be a little too spoiler territory. And to be perfectly honest, I don't fucking understand that shit completely. I still watch like videos on it, and I look up Reddit and all this. That don't even look to understand that. That's not the, if you focused on the main story of this game, of what Basim's early on journey is, it's probably within, I would say, top 3 out of the last maybe 7 Assassin's Creed games. Next up, let's talk about the gameplay and how it really kind of compares to the newer games versus the OG ones. This is the eavesdrop conversation. So look, this is where it goes back into like the old style of gameplay too, because you're eavesdropping on motherfuckers. Now, as you can see, even from that point right there, it goes back into sitting on the bench, listening into the conversations for intel. You can pickpocket for certain things to help gain information towards your assassination target, which is all very much remnant of Altair's story, the original and first Assassin's Creed. I love that that's back. I love that not only that that's back because it's more so stealth focused. The most recent games, stealth was not a priority. It's an option, but if shit hit the fan, you can go Rambo in the new Assassin's Creed games and still make it out. This isn't one of those games. This isn't. It's so stealth focused, and it's put the priority on being an assassin and staying in the shadows, that it brought back a lot of those core gameplay elements from the first game that we loved, but without making it feel stale and repetitive, if that makes sense. They have new tweaks on it to where it feels familiar yet new. You know, it feels very old, but it's hard to really put it. Like, it just, you can tell that it was inspired from the original game without it compromising the fun of doing it over again. Now, we're probably gonna talk about my least favorite part of the game, which is the combat. Even though I do not like the combat much, it's not necessarily bad. Again, the game is focused on stealth. So as you're gonna see coming up in this clip right here that we're playing, there's nothing much but just hacking and slashing, right? There, yeah, you can dodge, you can parry. That's really it. You parry, you know, you'll hack at them quite a bit, and that's really it. There's not really like the fighting animations are probably way cooler in Valhalla and Odyssey, but again, this isn't meant to be a one-man tank, a one-man Rambo. You know, you're meant to stay stealthy, stay in the shadows. So you're gonna see I even use smoke bombs here a lot to really help my way through this as I knew we were not capable of fighting them. So even though the combat was kind of toned down, I think it works for the game since you're mainly meant to be stealth focused anyway. I fucking love the smoke bombs. Holy shit, almost got wrecked there. Okay. The last two components I want to touch on, what are going to be really quick, because I think one of them goes without saying, is going to be the graphics and surprisingly the game length. Now it probably kind of goes without saying because I feel like every game in this day and age is gorgeous looking, from just the lighting to the facial features, the textures. One of the best looking Assassin's Creed games ever. I'm not going to touch upon that too much. Like, it's legitimately gorgeous. More importantly is the game length, and I think this is going to be touchy for some people, but I actually like the game length. The game was really short. I actually ended up platinuming the entire game in 29 hours. Yes, 29 fucking hours. But here's why I think the shorter length works. It is a stealth focused game. I can't do, me personally, if you're the type that can, then that's fine, but I wouldn't be able to do a 45-hour stealth story. I feel like I would get bored. The mechanics would get mundane. It would feel really old and played out after a while, and it would become a grind to just wanting to get it done as opposed to enjoying it. I think for the length that they went for the mechanics of the game, I think the story length was perfect. I enjoyed it enough to where I didn't get burned out from the stealth. Even going for the platinum after that, I did not get burned out at all. So I know that's gonna be controversial for some people because at the end of the day, the price tag is $50 for the game, and that's when you can kind of judge it for yourself if the $50 is worth, what is it, a 30-hour game. You know, most people, it might not be. Gaming is an expensive hobby nowadays, but for me, I loved it, especially being an Assassin's Creed fan, and the fact that I got back to the normal roots of the game without burning me out of the stealth. I think it was really good. Would I recommend this game? Absolutely. And I actually ended up giving Assassin's Creed Mirage an 8 out of 10. But let me know, gang, what do y'all think about AC Mirage? I know on the Twitch side of things, a few of you guys watched me stream it over there. We had good debates and conversations about it. Some of you end up picking it up. Some of you end up enjoying the game personally. But if you guys have not picked it up yet, let me know if this review helped you. Let me know if you are going to pick it up. I'd like to hear what you think about this game. As a long-time Assassin's Creed fan, I'm just happy to see it get back to its roots, and I'm looking forward to the next entry.
Oh, baby, let's go. She doesn't take it slow. She's putting on a show. She's acting like a pro. Oh, baby, let's go.